Director Mao Drizzle, Zhao Liying is the weight of the wind blows half summer, a small woman with a big heart. If you read the story behind The Wind Blows Half Summer, then you know that Zhao Liying is more than just an actress. According to the director, it was Zhao Liying who made the team decide to take on The Wind Blows Half Summer, and for shooting such a huge story, director Mao Drizzle was unsure at first about the many nuanced characters in the retrospective story, but Zhao Liying gave her the confidence and strength to shoot, and eventually broke through. The light is back. In a recent interview with director Mao Drizzle, she talked about the dedication of Zhao Liying, Huo Hao, Wang Changcheng, Sun Jin and other actors behind the success of the drama. The film is a showcase of a small woman's history of entrepreneurship and the so-called big female lead. Our play is a group drama, it reflects a group of people in an era, it is a group story of the struggle of a group of people from 1991 to 2002, open your eyes and see, it's a new world. Su Hangxia is a very typical representative of this, and what we want to make of this Su Hangxia is that she has her ambition, she has her desires, she has her persistence and bravery in doing things. You can let me in and out of this detention center if you want me to. Revenge, I have to teach you a lesson. In the case of such a grand story, she plays the role of a small weight that weighs 1,000 pounds. Because of Zhao Liying's attitude, our team was determined to take on this project, and the character of Su Hangxia was already in our minds, and we already had an idea of what she would be like and what her state would be. In fact, this drama was a great challenge for her, as she stepped out of her previous comfort zone. The experience of getting in touch with Huoho was actually quite tangled, because Huoho had a scheduling problem at that time, but he had done his homework very well, that is, he had made his understanding of this child prima donna very clear, but our first feeling was that he was too much like the child prima donna. I had chosen about 40 actors for the role of Xiao Chen, but none of them looked like him. However, we had contacted Wang Orange before this role, and after the contact, she left, and I thought she had gone to shoot another drama. We have also seen a lot of Sun Jin's role as a wildcat. We once show them a picture of Fei Wang, that is, she is the kind of person who is not stingy and should be the kind of person who feels that way. The most important thing is the casting, the role to match the actors in place, not ugly women playing beautiful women, ugly men playing handsome men, and not greasy men playing fresh men. What is what, then the actors have to read through the role, and finally in front of the camera to interpret. It can be said that each of the creative team of The Wind Blows Half Summer is too powerful, some of the acting makes the picture feel very watchable, some are too matched with the temperament of the actors and characters, so the natural is the inspiration, the expression is also very comfortable for people to look at, and the subtlety of the story is like a glue that connects all the actors in a vein, allowing people to read about the wild story of The Wind Blows Half Summer on the Long River. 02. Zhao Liying, Huo Hao and Li Guangji star in The Wind Blows Half Summer. Are you looking forward to it? 2022 is coming to an end. Are you still reminiscing about the films and dramas you've seen this year? Don't worry yet. There's a big event at the end of the year. Zhao Liying, Huo Hao and Li Guangji star in The Wind Blows Half Summer, which has an 8.4 double score and is not to be missed. Come and join the bosses and see what's going on in the steel industry. Tightly plotted and fast-paced. The story begins on a dark and rainy night when Tong Primrose's Huoho mother is seriously ill and has no money for an operation. The trio is joined by Su Hangxia, Zhao Liying, and Chen Universe, who run a scrap recycling station. The first bucket of money they make is from selling scraps from the steel mill. While Hangxia and Chen Universe are relishing their share of the money, Tong Primrose is fired from the factory for secretly taking out his car. The two of them take him on as a partner, and the trio's business venture takes off. They think that Hangxia and Tong will have a relationship, but they are all cut off when they say brother-in-law. But then, when the three of them are sent home, they find out that their brother-in-law is cheating on them. The two of them are in the same boat, but they have to go to jail for 5 years. 5 years later, Tong returns to the company as deputy general manager, driver and porter, as there are only 3 people in the company, having just come down from the mountain. The trio is revitalized and joins forces in their business, and the plot is tight and fast-paced. In order to develop their business, Su Hangxia borrows money from all over the world, which leads to economic crisis and family conflicts. With the help of Zhao Bei, Li Guangji, Su Hangxia goes to the north to buy scrap steel with a team of bosses, but one thing leads to another and they are cheated out of their deposit. Will Su Hangxia be able to break through the difficult situation when she is left alone abroad? The characters are vivid and solid. This drama is set in the 1990s, when Su Hangxia was a little girl in the eyes of the big bosses of the steel industry. Some people advise her to find a good man to marry early, but Su Hangxia is sober and clear. All the good men are married, so I have to make money. In the beginning she pushed a cart full of gifts and took Tong Primrose to see the world, mixing with the bosses and grabbing business with her peers at the drinks table. She is confident and smart, bold and daring, and has the courage and guts to navigate the male-dominated business world with ease. O'Hara's Tong Primus is a reckless kid, but at heart he is a kind and sincere boy. He initially steals a manhole cover to treat his mother's illness and spends 5 years in jail for a friend he has just met. Tong does not do anything to comply with the law, please don't imitate him, but doesn't complain when he gets out. Li Guangji's Zhao Bai carries his own aura, mature and steady, calm and unhurried, and he feels safe with his boss Zhao around. He also has the strongest assistant, Chen Universe, Wang Changchang, and the most dramatic father, Su Yoran, Wang Jinsong, who calls his own daughter Sister Kainer. The production is heartfelt, and the drama is scheduled to explode. The whole drama has filters and no skin, and is obviously a drama but has a cinematic quality. In addition, the costumes are also very attentive. Su Hangxia's long curly hair and big earrings, wide shoulders and narrow waist bring out a sophisticated temperament, and the bright overlay and leather shades are expected to set off a wave of retro-modern trends. The film is adapted from the novel No Way to Live by a Night, and shows the human feelings in the business world in its original form. The 3 generations of young and middle-aged actors and actresses are on the same stage, constantly expanding the boundaries of their personas, and the tension is so intense that it is really enjoyable. As the bosses return from the north, Su Hangxia is left alone in a foreign country to work hard to get into steel scrap, but just after returning home, the domestic steel prices plummet. With debts and lawsuits, will Su Hangxia survive the steel industry's cold winter? When will steel prices rise? The end of the year is a big one. 03. The junior swung line is expected to go online in December. The second male of all time, Liu Xueyi, this time can fire? Recently, the net rumor is that Junior Songxing will soon be scheduled for broadcast in December. This drama starring Li Hongyi and Liu Xueyi has been in the spotlight. One of them is also thanks to the monk costume of Liu Xueyi out of the circle in Yang Songxing. Although the monk played by Liu Xueyi is not a demon monk, his handsome image has the style of a demon monk, as if he is a character straight out of anime. When he is not smiling, his aura of coolness is intimidating, and he has the look of a high monk, reminiscent of the character in Liu Li. This year, Liu Xueyi has not released any works in the film industry, and his planned immortal drama When Flowers Fall could not be broadcast due to force majeure. The immortal male drama that he has been waiting for years to make his debut might have been able to catch fire again, but in the end, there was no luck. Of course, the reason why audiences are looking forward to Liu Xueyi's costume dramas and fairy dramas is because Liu Xueyi is a rare actor in the fairy drama market, using his strength to get into the immortal establishment. Since his debut, Liu Xueyi has starred in a large part of the immortal drama series. From Qing Yun's Zhi, Heavenly Medium of the White Snake, to the critically acclaimed Liu Li, to the trolling 8,000 Ancients Jiu Dust, not to mention the pending When the Flowers Fall and The Gentlemen Meet. Netizens chattered, did Liu Xueyi take the Immortal World preparation? I don't know, this Immortal World preparation is really Liu Xueyi's strength to get into the examination. It is well known that the casting of a fairy drama should firstly be a good face, young and beautiful with a fairy aura, and secondly, it should be a floating physique, with a fairy aura for the grooming and fighting scenes. To meet these 2 basic conditions, and only the rest is an acting skill. In terms of appearance, Liu Xueyi is 183 tall and has a very strict body management. He graduated from the Central Academy of Drama and studied dance for 5 years at the North Dance Before University. Liu Xueyi's acting skills, physique and grooming all fit together perfectly. The fighting scenes in fairy dramas are different from martial arts dramas, which do not require realistic punches to the flesh, but rather a flowing and elegant style. Liu Xueyi, with his dancing skills, is a fairy in every move he makes during his fight scenes. He is such an excellent actor, but he is always passing by some opportunities. Liu Xueyi's male drama is a flop. What he lacks is a good script. Last year's Clearfall was the first male drama that Liu Xueyi took on by himself after years of debut, and it got a 4.8 double rating. The one-liner Clearfall is, in fact, excusable, a poor drama where none of the timing, location and people are involved. Clearfall is a small-budget web drama, and with big IPs all over the place, it's the kind of drama that survives in the cracks, plus the fact that the start of filming was timed to coincide with the worst of the epidemic. The whole crew had to stop filming, and the cost of stopping filming for one day was reported to be 500,000 yuan, and there was no place to find group actors. In the end, we had to rely on the resources of the lead actors and actresses to postpone filming, reduce their pay, and even have the rest of the cast and crew willing to shoot pro bono to keep going. With a script in difficult mode, it was not easy to have the post-production editing, dubbing and special effects that we have now, but the director was Liu Xueyi, who had shot The Legend of Yunqi in the film East Evil, and the shots were meticulous and precise. Liu Xueyi stars as the male lead in Zhanyuxi in When the Night is Dark, which depicts the push and pull of love between a mature man and woman in an urban drama. This drama has a handsome man and a beautiful woman, and Liu Xueyi's suit and gold-rimmed glasses look like he stepped out of a cartoon, not unlike his ancient costume. His over-the-top acting skills create intense sparks whenever he and Zhanyuxi play opposite each other, which is the only thing about this drama that is worth discussing. This drama, like Clear Fall, was produced at a slightly higher cost, but the script is bad, the story is suspended and illogical, and the only watchable moments are the rivalry scenes between the male and female leads. Liu Xueyi's male lead dramas always seem to be like this, with outdated scripts, dog plots and low-budget productions. However, the failures of these dramas cannot be counted on Liu Xueyi, nor can it be said that he is a poor actor or not resistant to drama. After all, sticking to his acting skills in bad dramas is something he has always done. Liu Xueyi always lacks a bit of luck. Liu Xueyi is an actor who can express the inner world of his characters with his eyes, rich in micro-expressions and small gestures, loose in his performance and introspective in his emotions. You can see that he is different in every role he portrays. He doesn't play the same role as 1,000 characters. He can accurately convey the different psychological states of the character's emotional transition in a 10-second performance. At the age of 31, he is in his prime as an actor, but his luck and resources are a bit unfortunate, as his company does not support him, his resources are skewed, and his personality is a bit Buddhist, so he is always a bit unlucky. Even the immortal drama When Flowers Fall, which audiences have been waiting for, in which he plays the lead role, has a full story in the original novel, which is not too difficult to adapt, and the costumes and looks suit him well. It was a performance that was almost entirely within his comfort zone, and even before the show started, the audience was raving about it just by looking at the posters, but as fate would have it, the show was never going to be broadcast. However, his acting skills over the years are evident to all, which is why he was cast as the second male lead in Long Wind Crossing, and the audience's reputation for him has risen and they are looking forward to his new drama. However, he seems to be indifferent to his career. Liu Xueyi himself is really a strange purist in life. Others black him. He actually followed the trend of self-hacking, not to mention the official announcement, online search. His previous stills are rare, intensive publicity are recent. In private and in interviews, he has a comedian persona, and some fans even say, he's a handsome guy as long as he doesn't open his mouth. But who doesn't have ambition when it comes to being an actor? Liu Xueyi has a wide range of costumes, period dramas and modern dramas, and his spy drama The Painted Eyebrows starring Peng Xianlu will also be released next year. By then, Liu Xueyi will have a spy drama in his hands, a costume drama as the second male lead, and the recently expected release of the Young Man's Song. I believe that as long as he persists in acting, keeps his acting skills up and hones himself, his work will always be his best resume, whether he is popular or not.